Let's talk today about feminism. Because if you notice, that's one of the top ways that men who I say are low value try to hurt women. They hurl that like it's an insult. You're a feminist, you feminist this and you feminist that. And the way that they say it is like it's a negative. But I'm saying if a guy, one of these little knuckleheads, calls you a feminist, you know what you should do? You should say, thank you, motherfucker, because that's exactly what I am. And don't let it be a negative thing. Now, this all came about because some little knucklehead who calls himself alpha male, alpha man, something like that. I will put the exact clip up of what he posted under my video on the alpha woman. And he went into this tirade, honey. You can go there and see the whole thing that he put, but I'm going to just address the first part of his series of comments until I got tired of his shit and just deleted and blocked him. Okay, so he says the alpha woman is a woman that has chosen to act like a man. She is the product of the feminist ideology that seeks to turn the table on what they perceive to be male oppression and dominance. That's right. That is exactly what it is. Because anytime that you think that just because you have a dick and balls that you are better than, superior than, to, deserve more than, are owed more than a woman just because of the fact that you have testicles and a penis, see, that right there is a mentality of someone who is all on that male dominance and oppression nonsense. Okay, so then he says, well, they have now chosen to become, quote, the man in the love relationship, which leaves many of these women without romantic connections since men will not be displaced. Okay, if you were truly a man and a woman is being a woman, whether she's a weak, crawly snail woman or whether she's a woman of courage and strength and high self-esteem, neither one of those would displace you. The fact that you feel so threatened by a woman who knows what she's doing, who feels confident in herself, and who believes in herself, shows that you are just a pussy. You're weak. I mean, you want to use the label alpha male, but you are nothing of the sort. You just like, God, you like below beta, dude. You just really have this whole thing all twisted in your head. So then he says, women are naturally very capable in the performance of many tasks because they have been built and equipped to provide support to men who by their very nature are leaders. Okay, if the sexism is not jumping out at you right there, I don't know what else there is to say. You are born a male. You are not a man because you have a dick. Okay, you're a male. That's it. That's all you are. Now, what you do with your behavior and your attitudes and the things that you accomplish in the world and how you interact with people, how you carry yourself in the world, those are the things that make you a man. You have to have like a certain caliber of presentation, of certain way that you rock and roll when you interact with other people, and just the way that you present yourself to people, the way you handle challenges, the way that you go after your goals, the way that you treat and talk to people that you deem to be less than you. All of those are signs of someone's character and their sense of values about humanity. And you saying this kind of stuff shows that you don't have any, and you're not qualified to lead a roach out of the dark. You're not qualified to lead anything. So then he says, yeah, so all women are supposed to be doing is providing support to men. Man, kiss my ass. How about that? However, failing to recognize their place in the partnership, alpha women seek to use their abilities. Oh, I lost my place. Oh, and accomplishments to serve themselves. Damn Skippy. Why else would they? Okay, I'm serving myself just like you serving yourself. And then when there's a time when we can serve each other and to come together, and by serving ourselves, it helps both of us come forward. That's a partnership. Okay, you don't have to be like groveling at the feet of a man and licking his toes in order for you to have a successful partnership. And if anything, when a woman puts herself in that kind of position, she ends up being mistreated because he has no respect for you. Okay, and so then he says, that's why they describe themselves as independent, a term no man would ever use. He shouldn't have to use it. If he has to tell people he's independent, then he's certainly not a man. It is assumed that a man would be independent. How is she going to be a leader if you're not independent? Duh, that's stupid. There is no such thing as an alpha female to a man. The hell it's not. To him, the term translates to a woman who refuses to be led by a male. Okay. Because a woman doesn't want to be led like around like she's a dog on a leash, does not make her a partner who's not good for you. If anything, what I see is when men are what I call low value, which is how you present yourself, you are a man of low value. Because in order for you to feel powerful and strong and accomplished and like you're about something, that you're in the leader and that you're better, you need to put the woman down. You need her to be down below where you are. You cannot have an equal where she's just as talented, just as educated, just as confident, just as powerful, and just as aggressive and assertive as you are. You can't stand that. And when guys are like that and they look at a woman like they see her as a challenge and as someone that they think is trying to take away their manhood. And it's like, dude, if you really were a man, nobody could take your manhood. I mean, even if you were strapped to a cross like Jesus Christ, you would still have your manhood intact unless you were stupid. And so for you to sit there and say that a woman, she must let you lead in order for you to feel like a man. And if she doesn't do that, then she's trying to be the man. I'm just like, where do you guys get this stuff? What kind of ideas do you have about relationships? That is stupid. No woman in the modern society is looking for that kind of relationship. Women want to feel like they're important and respected in their relationship, like they have value. And this kind of conversation here where you're putting her down and discounting her abilities and her accomplishments and say, well, you just doing that because it's all about yourself. She could be doing that for the betterment of the family. But because you don't have those talents and abilities, you see her as trying to do something about herself, when in reality, you have to accept that there's going to be some things that she's good at, and there's going to be some things that you're good at. There's going to be some things that she knows more about than you do. There's going to be some things that you know more about than she does. The goal is to bring yourselves together, two strong, independent thinking people with goals and high values and some sense on their heads, to bring them together so that they can work together and advance their family as a unit. But if you need a woman to kowtow to you in order for you to feel strong and like your manhood is intact, you have problems you need some couch time. That's what you need. So then he says, the alpha female is a woman who has given up her femininity to pursue power and dominance. This is her way of remaining in control. Okay, let's talk about what femininity is. Actually, I have a whole video on this, so I don't need to do that again. Femininity is nothing but something that men have ascribed to women, because they want women to be these things, because women then will be what men want them to be instead of what the woman wants to be. And the woman will be like everything that men don't want to be, like pretty and soft and supplicating and submissive, and to never raise her voice, and to always speak in a low tone, and to do everything that her king tells her to do, and to all this stuff. Okay, that to them is femininity. That to me is a sucker. It's like you can be that if you want to sometimes, but you don't ever have to feel like you have to be put in this role where this is what you must be to be considered, quote, a woman. You have to be this feminine. That's why I have a problem with these trans dudes. They take these like stereotypes of what femininity is and just blow it all out of proportion. You don't see any real woman prancing around like that with 800 pounds of makeup on and doing all these affected movements and stuff. That's when you see somebody doing that, you can pretty much guess that's a dude, and he's just playing at femininity. Real women are already confident in our femininity. We don't need to do all that. We're not trying to be all extra. So this kind of attitude here is like promoting that extraness in order to feel like he's a man. See, the juxtaposition of all of that, overdoing, and the stereotypical femininity is what they're looking for in order to feel more manly. See, he can't feel manly on his own, by his own accomplishments, by his own thinking, his own actions and stuff. He got to control what you do and how you act, and then he gets to feel manly without really doing anything to deserve it. You're doing all the work, and he wants to reap all the benefits. That's what that is. So then he says, remaining in control. In control of what? She's in control of herself instead of letting you control her. That's the part that you're having a problem with. They fear that we become victims of male leadership. Any woman with any sense would be fearful of that, because you guys are not qualified to become leaders. Males have not been qualified to be leaders in 80 years. You guys don't have a tool set. So any woman who just automatically thinks because some dude rolls up on her and he starts talking about leadership and she gives him the reins of her life without him running him through any tests, without making him do anything to prove that he has the skills to do that, is an idiot. And if that's you, you're dumb. You're just a silly woman. You should really slap yourself because you have problems. So then he says, but men are not attracted to these women for long-term relationships, which is why many of these alpha females are single. You know why they're single? Because they know better than to settle for some bullshit ass nigga. That's why. They are women who are confident in themselves and they know deep to their soul that they deserve more than what you got to offer, and they're not trying to sign on to your bullshit ass game. So you can't stand that. So instead of you accepting the fact that you're not good enough for her, that's the problem. You're not good enough. So what you try to do is try to make it be like it's something wrong with her. No, it's something wrong with you. That's why you got rejected. So, we could play this game all day, but the bottom line is men present and women select. And the fact that she has not selected you and has chosen to continue to be single while she looks for the man that she can admire and respect as her king means you didn't make the cut, dude. You're just not the one. Okay, so don't try to make it seem like something's wrong with her. It's something wrong with you. Go find you one of them better beta Beckys and get with her, because then she'll be the woman that you want, the little submissive, quiet, not talk back and not have a original thought type of chick, the type that will make you as a low value male feel good. That's what you want. So then he says, but they tell themselves it's because men are intimidated by them. Men admit to being intimidated by them. So, he says it's not true. I mean, it's like all over YouTube, the guy's saying those exact words, so I don't know what he's talking about. The real reason is that men can see these women's unwillingness to submit their strengths and capabilities for the benefit of a partnership that is driven by the male agenda. Okay, this is what he said. I'm going to put the slide up in a minute, because I'm reading this, but you have to see this for yourself. These are the words that he actually used. You are supposed to give over your strengths and capabilities for the relationship that he wants. That's his agenda. So fuck what you want, what you think, what you believe in, what the goals that you have for yourself. You're supposed to bring all your talents and strengths, which I assume is your money, your body, your time, your energy, your education, everything, and use it for his benefit based on what he thinks you should be using it for versus what you think you should be using it for. You see how this works? So I don't know. I mean, any woman who ascribes to this submission shit, is something's wrong with you. Your screws are loose in your head, because this is how these dudes think. And what is the good of being? That's like a slave. I mean, like some indentured servant or something. What do you get out of that? Okay, so you be married, big whoop-de-doo. I mean, how is that helping you in the long term? You got to wash dishes, wash somebody's shitty ass drawers, pick up their dirty, nasty clothes off the floor, listen to their bullshit, they smell their stinky ass feet, and you clean up the bathroom after them after they piss all over the toilet. Don't even have the decency to put the seat down. I mean, just a whole bunch of other stuff, just drama. Men just bring a whole bunch of drama. So then to look at this and like he's trying to position himself like, just giving him everything that you got to give is going to be a benefit to you. Where? How's that helping me? I got my own shit. So if I got my own shit and you got some shit, then your shit better be better than my shit, and then I might be interested in what you're talking about. But if my shit is quite successful on my own and you just talking about, well, you need to give it to me for my agenda, fuck you. How about that? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck your mama. All y'all can be fucked. Because it's like, this is pointless. So then he says, in general, men need the help of women. They don't need their leadership. No, you don't get my help. See, you just want to use somebody. That's what this is. And it's like, ladies, do you understand what you're reading here? I mean, he's just so blatant with it. He's not even trying to hide it and pretty it up and frost it up to be anything else. He's straight telling you, I want you to give yourself and everything that you got and everything of value about yourself to me so I can use it to advance the agenda that I have in my head that's going to make me more powerful and me look better to the world. It's not about you at all. You sign on to a relationship with a knucklehead like this, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is why I say you women have to do more thinking and you have to do more talking to these men. You getting in a man's head and having him spill some stuff like this, and it didn't even take anything from me. It took one video. I didn't have to, like spend no money getting my hair and nails done or get a babysitter, nothing. I didn't have to do anything. And I already find out what kind of idiot he is. This here is a man who has extremely low value. He is here, okay? He's down here, off screen low, and you're here. He wants you to come down here, go under him so he can stand on you and then push himself up using your skills, your talent, and your energy, your education, your body, everything that you have to give to make him be better. That's what that is. It's like a pimp. So he's like, the help of a woman, the help that a woman provides is in helping her man lead. There's a difference. No. If you are a leader, no one helps you lead. You're confused. You don't understand what leadership is. So you want a woman to like position you in the role of a king while she helps you be the king. Fuck you. See, I can't say fuck you enough. This video will not get no ads on it. But you know what? I don't even care, because this is just one of those days when I just have to cut loose and be myself. But for women, what you have to understand is, when you say what's a feminist, and there's a lot of black women come here talking about, I don't want to be a feminist. And if you say that, you're stupid, because you know what feminist means? Feminist means that you believe in your mind that you are as good and as worthy of a man, of having options, choices, and opportunities. That's what that means. That's all what it means. But some women who say, well, I don't want to be a feminist. They just demasculate men. They take men's balls. This and that. You've been listening to too many niggas talk. That's what's wrong with you. You don't have an original thought in your head, and you listen to what dumb niggas say, and then you take that as the gospel truth, when in reality you need to read a book. Read something so you understand what feminism is and what it means for the feminine gender. Okay, it is something that's good for us. It empowers us. It empowers our daughters. It teaches our sons to respect women. And these are things that are just greatly needed in the African American community. If women would get their heads out of these Bibles and Qurans and stuff and start looking at how men treat you and demanding better, not accepting bullshit under the guise of religion. This drives me crazy. So you have like millions of women subjugating themselves to stupid ass men based on what they believe they're supposed to be doing according to these religious scriptures, and these dudes are not worthy. They're low value men. So what's a low value man? Because everybody's like, what's a when you have a man who's low value, typically these are guys who I'm going to be talking about when I do this video, are men who can't accept rejection. These are dudes who have a hard time with a woman telling them no. With a woman telling them no, or having a different opinion, or knowing more about something than they do, they can't stand it. I remember being on BART one day, and this dude, you know how it's crowded, right? So we were standing at the door, and there was a couple on the BART, and a black couple. And so I forgot what happened on the stock market that day, something. So this guy, he's going to call himself educating us about the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And I used to work at a brokerage firm. It's my first job. I was like between high school and college, and then I worked there every summer and, winter break and all stuff when I was going to school up until a certain point, but I was there like for years, during those breaks. And so I learned a lot about the stock market. They did industrial trading. It was an industrial brokerage firm. So they did blocks, 10,000, 50,000, 250,000 shares, not this, 10 shares. So they had like a huge research department. I mean, I learned a lot about the stock market and how it works. So this dude is talking about Dow Jones and just having some kind of off the wall, I don't know what he was talking about. I can't remember because it was so just raggedy and pieced together. And I remember looking at him, and he was saying it with such authority. And there was these white guys on the BART train too, and you could tell by the way they was dressed with they, $800 shirts on and all shit, that they worked in the investment banking industry as well. I could tell the way they was looking at the dude. And then they started laughing at him, right? And I started laughing at him too. I said, that's really not what that means. And he was talking about PE ratios and all this stuff. And I was like, that's not really, you got that confused. That's not what that means. So then he was looking embarrassed. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I said, okay, whatever, what do you want to say? But when you have a guy who's low value, he can't tolerate a woman who contradicts him, and he can't tolerate when he wants you to do something and you tell him no, you're not going to do it. They get all in their feelings about it, and it leads to a lot of problems. So a man who's confident in himself, like, he finds it exciting that you say that you don't want to do what he wants to do. He's like, oh, really? Well, why not? What's your thinking? What's going on? And he's intrigued. He's like, oh, a woman who has a mind. What the fuck is this? Oh, my dick is hard. This is great. But these guys who have low value, they like they try to touch you and you pull away. You don't want to touch them. Nigga, get your hands off me. And all this stuff. Every time you say no, they get mad at you because you're not giving them what they want. And you can bet if you have a guy who's acting like that, he has low self-esteem and he is socially a low-value man. So when you have guys who write posts like this one that I just read you, that's a low-value man. He cannot stand the fact that a woman does to do something that has an agenda that pleases her that's different than what he wants you to do. And he doesn't just feel like it's about a specific woman. He feels it's about all women. All women in his mind are to be here to be subjected to men's dominance. That's what I meant to say, my tongue getting tongue tied. And then he gets into this thing where, he wants to put you down. So notice how, the negative things he was saying about, that's why they're single. I mean, this is the same old nonsense they always talk. I mean, I'm telling you, they must have a script. Like this, the dumb nigga talk shit on the internet script, and they all say the same dumb shit over and over and over and over and over and over. And, the more they make you feel small and insignificant and, useless and worthless and like you just are, you'll never be chosen. You're just going to be living with cats and all stuff. See, those are all the things that they levy at women who they feel are a threat. So even though that he says that, we're not intimidated by you, that's a lie, because otherwise you wouldn't have to be pulling out these things like a grade schooler. You try intentionally to say things to women to make them feel small and bad so that you feel better about yourself. Yeah, I told that bitch, all this stuff. And you guys who feel the need to do that, there's something wrong with you. You don't have any real strength. You don't have any real confidence. And let's see, I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, okay. Well, that's true. The thought of sleeping with them, you just want to kill yourself. You just want to just like throw up and then slit your own wrist because, you just know that this would just be such a waste of your time. But anyway, I'll be going into this more when I do the video on men and rejection. But this opportunity presented itself because he and I were going at it this morning. And then as his last comment, he said something about, women can't decide that a man is irrelevant. I'm like, oh, is that right? Delete. And then the comment I put up is like, see, I just made you irrelevant because I deleted your shit because it was irrelevant. It's irrelevant to what I'm talking about, what I'm doing on my shit, which is what this channel is. This is me. This is about me. So here, I don't know about nowhere else in the world, but here at any other place where I am, your ass is irrelevant because the sun shines and the moon rises on this head right here. And you don't have nothing to do with it because everything that comes out of my mouth is gold flakes at the end of a rainbow. The pot of gold. And what you're talking about, is just like irrelevant. It don't have nothing to do with nothing. So that's what I wanted to say today. This got on my nerves. I'm just in a bad mood today anyway. So this is a great way for me to vent my frustrations on ignorant knick-knacks and their silly nonsense. And I'm telling you, any women, all the women want to be coming up here talking about, there's nothing wrong with submission. The fuck is not. You think about it. Give me a list of how submitting to a motherfucker helped you. How that put more money in your bank account, elevated your status as a woman, provided anything for you as a woman, advanced your cause, helped your kids? How has that helped you? All I see is the most submissive, religious heifers in the world are black women in the United States. And where are we? At the fucking bottom. And that's because you put yourself there by wanting to be up under all these old stupid ass men that aren't worth 2 cents on credit. Stop doing that to yourselves. Rise up. Stand up and then rise up and let the sun shine on your face without being obscured by some man's ass. Okay? That just makes no sense to me. You put yourselves in that position. You need to let the sun shine on you for a change instead of on these men and all you get is some shade. And then they won't appreciate it after you do all that for them. They dog you out, cheat on you, and beat your ass. So, what's the point of all that? I don't get it. But anyway, yes, I'm a decided feminist. As you see here, everything that I do is for the advancement of women. I mean, men, if they can benefit from, especially little teenage boys, they're not really stupid yet. So I help them too. And, kids always get some support from me. But these grown ass men who want to come up here talking all this shit to me, no. And you don't talk women shit to other women either. Yeah, I see them talking it. They don't. Those comments never make it live. You don't get to see those. They get deleted and those men get blocked. Sometimes I report them to YouTube for harassment and racist behaviors and sexism and profanity, all kind of stuff. You guys don't even get to see nine. You usually get to see maybe 10% of the stupidity that comes through. The rest of it gets blocked. But it's like this channel's a magnet for idiots because they know I don't give a shit, and I'm gonna talk just as much smack to them as they dish out, if not more. So they come here to get they fix of getting cussed out. I guess I don't know why they come, to tell you the truth. But anyway, thank you for letting me vent my bad mood. My bad mood talking about these knuckleheads, and I will be back in 2 days. See, I'm gonna keep my schedule. I'm gonna do every other day, and see how this works out for the month of March. Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. If you guys have a question, a dating dilemma that you want me to address, or a topic that you want me to investigate and report on, send the email to survivingdating@gmail.com, and I'll add you to the queue. It's a bunch of letters in there already, but I don't take them in order. I pick and choose which ones I want to do. So you want to get yours in the queue, that's what you do. Deb Cooper, out.